Welcome back to our channel where we dive into the quirkiest and most fascinating historical events. Today we're exploring some of the worst royal wedding nights in history. Yes, not every royal union had a fairy tale ending, especially when it came to the wedding night. Let's get right into it. King Henry VIII and Anne of Cleves. Henry VIII's marital adventures are well known, but his union with Anne of Cleves stands out for its particularly dismal wedding night. After being married on January 6, 1540, Henry was dismayed to find that Anne did not resemble her flattering portrait painted by Hans Holbein. Historians suggest that Henry's distaste was not just about Anne's appearance, but also about her lack of familiarity with English customs and language, which made communication difficult. Henry confided to his courtiers that he found it impossible to perform his marital duties due to these impediments. This non-consummation was used as grounds for their annulment 6 months later, marking one of the shortest and most politically inconvenient marriages of Henry's reign. Anne and Henry's agreement to an annulment was mutually beneficial, allowing her to live comfortably in England as the king's beloved sister, a status that provided her with a generous settlement. Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI. The marriage between the young Austrian Archduchess Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI was arranged to strengthen the alliance between Austria and France. When they married by proxy in April 1770, Marie was just 14 and Louis was 15. The physical consummation of their marriage was a political necessity, but it didn't occur for 7 long years. Initial reports suggest that Louis XVI suffered from a physiological disorder, phimosis, which made intercourse painful and was not corrected until a surgical procedure years later. Additionally, the awkwardness and pressure from the court may have exacerbated the young couple's anxieties. Their initial failure to consummate the marriage led to widespread public scrutiny and mockery, which contributed to the Queen's negative image amongst the French people, affecting her popularity and ultimately her fate during the French Revolution. Tsar Nicholas II and Alexandra Feodorovna. Nicholas and Alexandra's marriage was marked by deep affection, but their wedding night in 1894 was less than idyllic. The newlyweds were already under immense pressure as rulers of a vast and restless empire. On their wedding night, Alexandra's dress catching fire from a candle was seen as an ill omen. The couple's nerves, combined with the stress of their responsibilities, likely overshadowed any joy that the occasion could have brought. Their reign continued to be marked by bad omens and misfortune, culminating in their assassination during the Russian Revolution in 1918. The tale of their wedding night is often cited as the first in a series of misfortunes that befell the last Tsar of Russia and his family. Queen Victoria was famously enamored with her cousin Prince Albert, and their marriage in 1840 was a union of deep personal and romantic attachment. However, Victoria's diary entries reveal that she suffered from severe menstrual cramps on her wedding night, which made her first experience with physical intimacy extremely uncomfortable. Despite this initial setback, Victoria and Albert's relationship grew stronger, and they had a passionate marriage, evidenced by their extensive correspondence and the 9 children they shared. Their partnership is often looked back on as one of the most successful and affectionate in royal history. Sophia Dorothea married George Louis, the future George I of Great Britain, in 1682. The union was purely political, arranged to consolidate territorial claims. From the beginning, George was repulsed by Sophia Dorothea and reportedly spent his wedding night with his mistresses, completely neglecting his new wife. Their marriage never improved, plagued by mutual hatred and infidelity. After a scandalous affair, Sophia Dorothea was imprisoned in Alden Castle for the last 30 years of her life, never seeing her children again. This tragic story highlights the personal costs of political marriages in royal history. King Charles II's marriage to Catherine of Braganza in 1662 brought Portugal's alliance against the Spanish, along with a significant dowry including Tangier and Bombay. However, Catherine's inability to produce an heir and her Roman Catholic faith made her unpopular in Protestant England. Charles, known for his charismatic and philandering ways, showed little interest in his wife, especially on their wedding night, which set the tone for a marriage filled with public infidelities. Despite this, Catherine remained loyal to Charles throughout their marriage, and her demeanor and piety eventually earned her respect in England. The union between Princess Charlotte of Belgium and Emperor Maximilian of Mexico in 1857 was one born out of political necessity more than romantic desire. Maximilian, the younger brother of Emperor Franz Joseph I of Austria, was somewhat reluctant to marry, but was charmed by Charlotte's intelligence and beauty. Their wedding was a grand affair, full of pomp and circumstance, but the wedding night was less than ideal. Reports suggest that Maximilian was intimidated by Charlotte's strong will and sharp intellect, leading to a tense and awkward first night together. This strain appeared to continue throughout their marriage, especially as their situation grew more precarious when Maximilian accepted the throne of Mexico under French sponsorship. The pressures of ruling a foreign land in turmoil eventually led to Maximilian's execution and Charlotte's mental breakdown, showing how their royal duties overshadowed their personal lives from the very beginning. Grand Duchess Anastasia Mikhailovna of Russia married Friedrich Franz III, the Grand Duke of Mecklenburg-Schwerin, in 1879. Known for her vibrant personality and independent spirit, Anastasia was ill-prepared for the strictures of her new life in the relatively quiet and conservative court of Schwerin. On their wedding night, the differences between their personalities became immediately apparent. Friedrich Franz was a known hypochondriac and deeply introverted, which contrasted sharply with Anastasia's outgoing nature. It is reported that their wedding night ended in disappointment, with Friedrich Franz's health anxieties and lack of enthusiasm dampening the spirit of the occasion. This set a somber tone for the rest of their marriage, which was marked by Anastasia's frequent escapes to more vibrant courts and cities across Europe. Their personal incompatibilities highlighted the challenges of royal matches made for strategic reasons rather than personal compatibility, often leading to lifelong unhappiness. These expanded stories provide a deeper look into the complexities and often harsh realities of royal marriages, revealing that behind the facade of power and splendor, many royal individuals faced profound personal challenges and disappointments.